Yeah, man.
Because, yes, it's on, okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, abdul-alim. I think this is the last brotherhood before headed out west. Now, next week, I think 22nd to the 25th in Phoenix is the Angelman's regular program. So if it starts on, when did I say, the 22nd? The 22nd would probably be Tuesday. No, 22nd is Thursday or Friday. I think probably Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, yes. So, something like that. Whatever it is, I'll probably leave on Monday because I'm going to take my time this time. Usually I just go on the highway.
You hit it and quit it.
Stay on out there, and, but I'm going to take one rest period. Get me a hotel, take a nice bath. I'm going to get there early, like when they close the rooms out, it'll be probably around 12 o'clock. So I'll wait till 12 o'clock, check in, and I can stay there till 12 the next day. Instead of coming at night and
gotta get out there and
jump up and run. I take a day off, walk around the streets, the road, wherever it is. And it does your body good, because when you're out there straight for 2.5 days, 3 days, you be glad to get home.
That's a training.
Oh, it's good. It's good for you.
2 or 3 days to get through, that's a training.
Yeah.
That's like going through an obstacle course or something in the military, right? It ain't no joke.
You know, I was thinking, now this is December, must have been 2, it could have been 3 years ago that I left Oakland and I drove to a program in Dallas, Texas. That's about 1,800 miles, and I rested. I tried to get a good rest, but I was in a hurry to get here. We did the program. I got there during the daytime, and I might have got 2 hours sleep, and I struggled up that morning. Then I drove here. It's generally a 24-hour drive with rest from Dallas to here. I got here, got 3 hours sleep. Got 3 hours sleep, packed up the crew, headed for Denver, and drove from here to Denver. That means I tried to count it up. In 6 days, I had about 20 hours sleep. In 6 days of rolling. And I wasn't passing out and going crazy either. And I said, oh, I'm in reasonable shape. I've been traveling a lot, so you get used to it. Hey, man. But alhamdulillah, last week or so we had the Jummah or a discussion on gratitude. Well, it's thankfulness related to life in general and related to our mission.
You don't turn the
Oh, yes,
speaker.
yes. This makes it look more realistic. Yeah, not as stiff. Yeah, because everybody else's stuff. Did you see that on
Of course.
Netflix? No, it's one on Netflix about a black African imam.
No.
Look on there. It says not on Netflix, on the one. It's right on the ones where it's hilarious. That boy, he got a good guy. I might be able to pull it up. I don't know.
Did you hear your friends on C-SPAN over there?
Who was that?
Adam Sandler. You didn't see that? They had on Street Fair, and they had a program out there.
I can imagine.
And they had it on, it was on TV for a minute in the news.
Right.
They had, Magic, and they had the Attorney General out there.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that stuff on the radio. That stuff was really interesting.
Usually I listen on Sunday to all of that.
Yeah.
That's probably when it was on, but I didn't want to hear that this Sunday. So I said, I'm not going to hear
No,
it.
this was on during this week.
Oh, okay.
This might have been on yesterday. I just happened to be, going through the channels, you know what I'm saying, on the radio, and I picked it up. And I said, oh yeah, is that right? And you could hear Rizwan out there. He was the moderator, and it was real Americans. They had the rabbi there, some Christian there, and it was.
Well, they down with
Interfaith.
They down with OPP.
Right.
yeah, rabbis and all that. They just don't mess with no Muslims.
Exactly. That's the first thing that came across my mind. I said, you friendly with everybody, but you ain't friendly with us.
Right.
And we are the same faith you are.
Right.
And you got us like we a pariah or something, or disease.
Well, anyway, we'll catch you some other time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As we was talking about on the subject of gratitude and gratefulness, one of the writings last week dealt with gratitude and self-discipline. Well, it dealt with 4 stages of what they was calling reaching a goal. And they had self-discipline first, and then they had last they had niyyah, intention. Whereas for us it's the other way around. But self-discipline is something that, well, all of us here, kind of got it better than most people for sure, because we all work out, as best we can under our circumstances, and it's been a part of our life. And self-discipline is one of the characteristics for struggle. People that don't have good self-discipline, they really, they'll either have to acquire it or they won't last long in the struggle. Because you have to be able to control yourself. Self-mastery, self-management, self-control, all of those things. And we look at self-discipline as a big gratitude, because in the early years, for self-discipline, now, personally, I remember I really got heavily into self-discipline when I went overseas. I mean, I worked out. By the time I got into it super seriously, well, no, I've been in self-discipline since the late 50s, 60s, early 60s. But good, serious self-discipline was from about 62 onward,
Wow.
Yeah. And so from 62 onward, good self-discipline. But even in crime, we had pretty good self-discipline. Self-discipline helped pull you back from the verge all the time. Remember when I mentioned about one of the big brothers out there, he mentioned that if you keep that up, you won't be captain of the ship. As soon as he said it didn't take no encouragement. I knew the law. I kept on doing what I was doing. That night, next morning, that was it. No more of that. I locked up all the blow. And when I came to the nightclub, everybody was sharp. I had on a black t-shirt, tight t-shirt, puffed all up from running them hills and lifting iron. Because it woke, you know what I mean? So many of our people, famous people, rich people, all of that, they get that big money and them cutie pies, and it runs people crazy. But self-discipline helps keep you focused. And also, when you're going to challenge a big system like we have here, the United States government, they're going to start, the stuff will come so fast and so heavy. If you don't have a stress releaser or something that gets your mind out of what they're arranging for you, you can be in a whole lot of trouble. That's one of the reasons very few people make it through challenging systems and all the ups and downs of movement and struggle, you know, and what have you. If you don't have something to keep you, something is yours, and that's what self-discipline is. Self-discipline is yours. That's something that you do for yourself. And we used to call it positive addiction. In fact, I tell my kids, I said, this is good for you. So if you learn how to handle your money, you got your religion together, and self-discipline, self-control. That's health, you know, like basic health. I said, you ain't gonna get much better than health. Because even in dunya, we said health and wealth. And I asked him, I said, if you was blind and you had $20 million, how much would you give to see? He said, all of it. I said, of course you would. That's why health is better than wealth. Because if you're healthy, you can always come back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can, if you appreciate health, you don't need the other stuff. You don't have to have that. You can sleep on the floor, you can do this, that, and other. And those habits are the ones, when I left the country, I didn't really, I wasn't super happy to leave, but it was one of the things that I needed to do. And I noticed, we talk about it all the time, the main difference was our people accepted white authority. So when they got a little state case, they messed around, bail lawyers and in and out, and they went through that process. But when they got hit by the feds, this is everybody. All they thought of was, well, how much time I'm gonna have to do. They didn't think about bump that crap. Who's he talking about? You gotta say, well, all I gotta do is get out of here. Or you can't get out no bail bond. You gotta have the cash money. So I said, well, just get on out cash money. And I'll leave that money. You know, you can have it. And you know that traveling overseas was a big eye-opener. Because you go to Africa first, North Africa, Arab, Egypt, and down to Sudan, and all those places. You settle in what they call Black Africa, because most of us that was in North Africa, we wanted to get to Black Africa. After getting there, we said, well, we want to go to Black Africa, you know, which was good. The thing about it is you learn so much. You acquire the knowledge of the patterns of civilization. And you know about colonialism and all those things, but you don't know all the ins and outs and what we got in common. And you learn so much more. So exile is healthy. It's good for you. Very good for you. South America was the same thing. It's healthy, it's good for you, but the lesson that I learned, especially by the time I got to South America, I only had two things. I got me had them send me a good medical book, dictionary and all of that. And I studied health because I'm in the tropics. And they got all kind of stuff. Of course, I got legal books to fight my case. But you want to take care of yourself. You know, you have to learn how to take care of yourself. Because you can get down in the tropics, you know, you can run up against all kind of stuff. Now, I was lucky. I went to Africa, and one thing I learned in Africa, all the Negroes got amoebas and sick. Everybody got sick but me. And I studied right out of them getting sick. Then I said, oh, we're in the tropics. I said, I was born on the bayou. You know, the bayou. I'm in the bayou, you know, slow running water right there. And when it rained, it came up to the house. And it was tropical. It was really, you know, in the summer, Arkansas and Louisiana is just like the tropics. So I must have developed immunity to those type of things. And they was all city slickers, all the black nationals, them niggas is, I mean, those are brothers. Man, they was from Boston and Kansas City, and there wasn't no amoebas or nothing around there. They actually got sick. I never got sick. And I tell you, when I really realized it was when I left Africa and I first went to Peru. Actually, the trains would have people next to the train. They'd sell you sandwiches and fruit and stuff. So at one stop, I bought some fruit. I don't know what the fruit was, but it was tropical fruit, and I was vegetarian. So I bought a couple of them. It was a white lady. We're going to Machu Picchu. We're leaving Cusco, the old Inca capital. These are all the hot spots. And the white lady looked at me. Are you going to eat that? I said, yes, ma'am. You're not going to get sick? I don't think so. And I started eating it. I get sick all the time. I said, I didn't say nothing. I said, well, I don't know why. It's a fruit. What is it? It's a fruit. It just grows up out of the ground on a tree. It can't be too much wrong with it. You're going to wash it? They probably wash it. If it didn't, there ain't no pesticide out here. This is a fruit up in the mountains. They just probably picked it off a tree. And I was thinking, we raided trees all our life. You know, little kids, I'm sure y'all did it.
Yeah.
All the trees in the neighborhood, even when I was the richest Negro in town, I would scope my neighbor's trees, and I'd park my Broham with the mink on and look around, and I was up in that tree, sharp as a tack, and they, look at that gangster man down there. He's in our plum tree. And I'd do it, I wasn't ashamed of nothing. It's just a habit, you know what I mean? It was a habit. But the point is discipline. And so, one of the things that I talked to the party about, when I got over there, y'all gonna have a revolution. So you can't have no revolution going down to the Rue de Douche Morag buying hashish every day and getting high. And the only person that would exercise with me was Sekou Dinga. We would play basketball. We'd go out where I live, I'd pick him up, and we'd go out, we'd play a few games of basketball. But the rest of the party, they sit up on their behind and read books, I guess. And I was telling them, I said, you can't have no revolution like that.
Incredible.
Y'all's habits is not revolutionary, you know. And they never did develop a physical fitness program. Okay. So in the early years, a lot of us have a lot of good physical fitness programs, self-discipline. You know, the old saying, habits will determine your future, is true. Habits have a lot to do with your future. How you feel. And I tell young people all the time, I said, just think that you can determine, what allows help, of course, how you're going to feel. And remember, in the good workout, your workout determined how you was going to feel. And it was about 35 years ago. Everything that we would encounter, I would study it, like stress. Because the government is running all these games on you. So I would study what stress is, why they try to produce it, all the psychological mumbo jumbo. And so that you would realize that that's what they're going to try to do to you. Psychological games, physical stress. And I used to tell people, even in the penitentiary, I say, if you go to board and get shot down, don't lay up on the bunk looking at the ceiling feeling bad. Get out and run the yard. Because when you get mobile and you open up, you feel like you're more in charge of life. Personally, I found out a real good, years and years ago, when I was in Leavenworth. You know, the Lamb used to teach that, of course, you eat once a day. So I said, if you eat once a day, it'd be better if you eat every other day than every 3 days. And for most of the time I was at Leavenworth, I ate 1 day out of 5. And I didn't realize why I was feeling so good. It's because in the penitentiary they control everything. But there's a hidden benefit in controlling how you eat. You have a feel like you're controlling yourself, not the system. So you feel free. And then you get out on the yard and you run. By the third and fourth day you get out there and run, eating every fifth day means that you drink coffee and tea and honey and stuff. So that stuff, man, you be like juiced up, you know. And when you eat, it's like you're in that heron. You know, you nod and all of that stuff. So you're in control of how you're going to feel. This is the value of self-discipline. And we call it positive addiction. That you're addicted to something that's good. Personally, the last couple of weeks, I've been back on the iron pile. And I mean, it feels good. And I'm getting iron, I got iron. Look at here, I ain't lifted this much iron in years, at least 10 years. Now, I didn't mean to do it, but I said, well, let me, because you know, when I was running and it got cold, I wouldn't get a good sweat no way. So I said, well, I'll just do a little iron for a couple of weeks. But I did iron and I said, man, this feels good. So it's addictive, you know. You start getting back to that feel, you start tasting the iron, and you can't wait to get out there and work out. Pretty soon you start puffing up. Man, if you see that bar out there, I got iron stacked on it. I mean, and I took off the big one that I use, and I got that old time iron where it's quarters on it. And you know, in the old days, you know, where you had quarters, you can count it exactly, you know. And it feels good. It's positive addiction. It's being addicted to things that are good for you. And it's definitely stress reliever, positive, makes you feel good, has to do with optimism. And then when you're doing it, this gratitude, that's what we started with. You're so grateful that you see other people. I mean, you're really grateful when you see people hobbling along and they're half your age, but they can't hardly see, you know, stuff like that. Talking about gratitude, you know, an attitude of gratitude, that's a big deal. It also helps you in when you face these big challenges. When you face big challenges, you know how working out and all good top physical fitness It works on your confidence. It works on everything. So you feel that it's possible, that I can do it. And then even if the movement, the mission is kind of going up and down, well, you know that this is normal because your workout is like that too. You work out all the time, but sometimes you just out there zipping and you can't wait to get out there. Sometimes you're doing it.
That's right.
And it's good. Sometimes I'm just doing this here because I'm addicted to it, you know.
Yeah.
But then something happens, you get juiced up and you up again. You know what I mean? But you're always in condition. You're always training. You're always working out. Or you're always taking a walk. See, a lot of people don't realize that they say walking and stuff is about the best thing for you. Walking, a little light running, but walking is sufficient. You know, and they don't know that. Like when I go to them cities, it's high up, and we walking, I say, hey man, y'all gotta slow down. Like Tehran is high up in there, you know. And I said, the brother is huffing and puffing. And then we gotta walk up all them stairs, and we 6,000 to 8,000 feet up. I don't know how high it is, but it's up there. And you can go from one part of the city to the other, and you're going up, up, up. It may be snow. When I lived in the north, like right inside the city, right up on the hills, there's snow all around the house. We go down the flat land, not flat, but it ain't no snow. So you gotta be, being in condition helps your health. If you happen to get sick, it goes away quicker. If you ever get sick, you know what I mean? It's just, and health, what was that saying that the Sudanese had?
Health is a crown worn in the head of the healthy person, recognized only by the sick.
That's deep. But it's real.
For real.
Because see, people take health for granted. Oh, they don't take it for granted. You get up every morning, you be thanking Allah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For what? For being alive and being healthy. As we were saying, exile was good. Africa was good. South America was good. You have to adjust to all kind of people, all kind of environments. You're learning all the time. And especially if you're in the thick, if you're in Africa, you're not just sitting there like a tourist, you're involved in African activities. If you're in South America, you're involved in South America. Therefore, you learn South America. You learn. I just went to get something at Home Depot, and I looked at the sister. I said, "It is de Peru?" He said, "Yes," because she looked Peruvian up in the mountains. And I told her, "Well, yeah, I've been there." I told her I was just a tourist. I didn't say I was buying, selling dope or nothing. Arequipa, Cusco, Machu Picchu, you know more about Peru than me, and I'm just there, I live there. I said, well, I just like your country, you know, and da-da-da-da-da. But, you know, if you see somebody and you talk to them a little bit in their language, you know what that means to them? That person likes me. He had to, yes.
Went to the subway the other day. And they got a Latino girl in there that does the sandwiches. So I always ask her, she fixes my sandwich all the time. I said, how's your family doing? So she couldn't understand what I said. She said, my English, English not that good. So I thought about I took Spanish a little up at that school, in the 6th grade. That was back in '63. So I thought about the little Spanish I took, and I looked at her and I said, ¿Cómo está usted? She said, estoy muy bien, gracias. She said, ¿Y tú? I said, muy bien, muy bien. She said, yes. I mean, her face just lit up. But I've seen you do that a lot with people. Like when you, like the guy who had the van. Remember he had the van, and you got to talking to him, boy, his face lit up like, man, he's a homeboy. You know?
Well, it means that you have to use some energy to learn my language. If If you like my language, you like me.
Right.
It's automatic. And then for them, for Negroes, you know, the Negro don't have a whole lot of sense. And he don't understand other people. Y'all go back home and all that. Them dumb Negroes, they don't. And when they see that you're not one of them, of course we from the same tribe, but not the same mentality, they are overwhelmed. And even whether they from Africa, you tell where you from? Oh, I'm from so, man, I used to be there and I know such and such. What city? You know where the clock tower is and all of that? Yeah, we used to live up the street, and they said it's like talking to a friend. They love it.
You know, it used to blow their mind. Remember, who was it you said it was the brother that whipped the Italians, the French, and all three of them at one time?
Yeah. Muhammad Abdullah Hassan.
And he was from where?
Somalia.
Yeah, I remember one time, boy, somebody said, yeah, I'm from Somalia. He said, yeah, and you ran that down?
Yeah.
Ah, you know him? I mean, they just got excited.
Yeah, see, this is the thing about studying and knowing a little bit about some conversation piece, but really it starts the ball rolling. And if people feel, if you go to a Muslim country and you go to Salat and everything, you Muslim? I said, you see what makes us laugh. You know Al-Fatiha? This is Pakistan. You know Al-Fatiha? I said, yeah, want me to say it? I bet you. You Muslim? You Sudan? I said, no. America. You Muslim? I said, I told you. It's about the third time. I said, this is Salatul Jummah. Why would I be here at Jummah? I said, and I come to the Masjid more than you. I come here 3 times a day. I said, I've been here, you know, let's say to get there for a couple of weeks. And I'm in a big hotel, and I say Islamabad, and I walk down to the nearest masjid. Well, I can hear a friendly masjid. They got masajid everywhere. One is making du'as and nates, you know, on the loudspeaker. I said, oh, those are Brelvis. The other ones is Deobandis. Deobandis is the bad guys, like Taliban. They don't like nobody. But the Brelvis is kind of like Shias, except they're Sunnis. They got extra du'as and they all that. So I go to the masjid, I'm sitting there. I said, I told you I'm a Muslim. So I start showing off sometimes, reciting surahs. Just having a good time. They may be serious as a heart attack, you know. And I said, I'm Imam Jummah in Washington, D.C.